Hey folks, Performance Reviews, where I give you the review from the technician's point of view. And today we're going to replace this motor in this MD central vacuum. Now, generally speaking, I'm not too hot on motor replacement for central vacuums. The reason being is a lot of times when these motors go out, they'll take the circuit board or the switch or other things with it. This is no exception. This actually took the switch with it as well. But the machine's under warranty, so we will be replacing these parts. But a lot of times by the time you call a technician out, they're at your house and they quote you for that motor and whatever other parts that motor took out, you're over the half the cost of a new one, which is generally where I consider replacement. So I'm going to show you how to do this, but with the caveat that it might not be worth doing depending on who you are and your age of your unit. And it's always nice to upgrade to a new unit where you get more power, some sound insulation, maybe better filtration. So that those are kind of maybe the benefits of upgrading as well. So the first thing that's fallen off, as it does with every MD, is their little warranty void. We know these have no legal significance here in the United States, but they still put them on. So let's go ahead and pull this off. Now this is a funky size socket on here. It's not metric. It's 7/16, so that just pulls off like so. And then on the side here, this one, not this one, this one right here will need to come undone. He will also be a funky size. So let's go ahead and pop this off. Alright, so we now have the canister is free. Alright, the canister is free. You can do two things. You can pull the motor leads off the motor in this case. Usually you have to do it on the board. And we can see the fine plaster dust there. And then we have a ground lead here. Again, usually easier to do it on there itself. So, give you an idea of what that looks like inside. There's not a lot here. This is a Flo-Master, so that means it really doesn't have too much of a sealed exhaust. Yeah, that's what the exhaust looks like. And as you can see, there's some dust and things here. We're gonna pull this. Okay, we're gonna loosen these, but we're not gonna pull those off completely. We just want them loose. And we're gonna loosen this ring. Bet you were expecting a bigger motor in here. Alright, these guys go off, and then there's this ring in this case, which we're going to save and reuse. Pull the motor off. And you notice the gasket comes with the motor. Oh, that's interesting. It's like red clay. So it's really far up in the mountains then. Yeah, so this guy, while the brushes are good, the bearings have gone bad in this, and that's probably due to this red clay. So we'll talk about the other side where the filtration happens here in a minute and clean that. But first, I want to just clean this real quick. All right, I have vacuumed out this section right here, and now we're going to wipe it down so that the gasket makes a good seal and, you know, any residual motor smell is gone from that motor dying. This is an example where somebody heard that the unit was not running right, and they stopped in time before any electrical burning or anything really, really bad happened. And again, that's not usually the case when I see central vacuums. They are usually, just because you're not by them when they're running, they're usually run until the motor, again, fries something else. So I'm really happy to see that on there. Again, we're just gonna really make sure that that's nice and clean. It is making a good seal. And you can see the gasket there. And the gasket should be applied to the motor on there. And the way these gaskets come is they come in multiple pieces. And how we're actually going to do this is we're only going to stick the outside, as I'm showing you, but we're going to use this to line it up right there. It's hard to do this on camera. And it doesn't have to be exact. So that, boom. And now we got our gasket on there. And we can save these for something else. I'm sure they'll be useful. So that's on there. So now we're going to put the motor on, like so. And you see nothing is really precise here. There's nothing really precise going on here. This is a very old school thing that's going on here. I'll do that. And now maybe you see why we're not lining, why we want these loose, because nothing is precise the way these are manufactured. This is not a Mila or Cibo. This is made in the US, assembled in California by minimum wage, I'm sure. And we're just going to start that. Next, I'm going to go to the other side. Start the other side. Right there. So now that's in. Make sure the motor turns by hand. You just want to do that, so make sure you don't over tighten anything. Alright, that's on. Again, motor turns by hand when I touch the top. That's good. Now, last but not least, because nothing was burned, in this case I'm actually going to reuse the motor leads coming from the circuit board, but you don't have to. You can put new ones on if you want. Again, I don't see any reason why not to here. Just want to make sure you keep track of which polarity. It's not a huge deal if you mess up on polarity, but it's supposed to be useful. Like Savages, they use these oversized screws for this hole. This is the only thing that's the same size. It's so silly. So we're going to do that. Put that. Alright, that's on. So that is on, all hooked up. And then as we put this back together, the thing I want to show you is you need to line up this hole first. I know it's amazing that there's no sound deadening, there's no seals on the rest of this, but that's just how it is. We just do that. Alright. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to hand start this one real quick. And again, we're just going to tighten it. So the motor's been changed. Now for the other part. It's got a new bag in it. So that's great. That's great. They're gonna need a new hamburger. As we call these affectionately hamburgers, as they used to be multi-layer, now they're single layer. And you can see all the debris and dust in there. So we're gonna go clean that out real quick. All right, we're gonna put a new filter in here now that we've cleaned this out. It just goes in and kind of hangs out on the bottom there. Again, nothing about these are precision machines. They're kind of like a brute force type of thing. I'm gonna put the bag in. I vacuumed it out. You can launder these if you have a front load machine. They're inexpensively enough that you can also just replace them. Normally I would put a new bag in, but the customer has a new bag, so the way that these older style bags work, they do not want to upgrade, unfortunately. So the way that these older style bags work, and I have plenty of videos on bag changes over on the vlog. So yeah, they just kind of elastic over this, and then what you want to do is that tab, you want to hold on to that tab. There it is. So that tab is super important. Now it's in focus. This black tab. So that's going to be going in here. So we're going to put that in. And then you want to just fluff the bag down. That guy then goes over here. Just like so. You want to just push it, make sure it's evenly on there and sealing. And that's how the bag goes there. I'm gonna wipe the lid clean. They always get a whole bunch of dirt on top. Now this customer decided to put a intake with this on here. Yeah, that's a no-no. We'll be getting them a regular 90. That restricts airflow. You want a regular 90 on there. All right, let's give it a quick test here. We're just gonna short it. All right, well, that is working how it should with the new motor on it. If you need central vacuum service and you are in Colorado, we'll put our information below. If you just need to find the closest MD dealer to you, I'll also put that in the information below. Check out our Patreon. They really help make videos like this possible, and have yourself a wonderful day.